Alright, everyone, welcome to another video, and I'm going to do this in the beginning rather than at the end because very few of you make it to the end, as my analytics inform me. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like this video, share it around on all of your social media. Make sure that people know that this game exists because oh, this is a passion project. This is a work of love. So today we're going to go back to artifacts. We're going to go back to what it means to have an artifact spell and how to take an artifact that has been enchanted and then turning it into a spell. Let's go back to the core set. Creating artifact templates. And we've gone through this before, but we didn't take a look at the chart below where you have the bonuses and the unstained shade costs added to it. So we're just going to do a few extra little workspaces here just to show you what exactly that might look like. Let me summon up a few of the. This is our aspect spell that we added, and that is the artifact that we worked on. So I believe the example we had was we had decided that we were going to make an artifact that had already been enchanted. And this is important because you cannot or you cannot enchant an artifact that has already been turned into a template. The reason for that is because you're trying to recreate something that didn't exist. So you have to make the thing exist before you turn it into a template or into a spell so that the magic can actually say, oh, I am making a magical enchanted item with bonuses on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this bronze sword and we're going to say, okay, so short sword is our artifact, just base artifact, and uh, we're just going to say the attack value is attack skill is going to be athletics, and the defense skill is going to be, let's just say it's acrobatics. No, no, let's do insight. Say it's let's say it's something like a gladius or something like that. So, um, insight, and that's just going to be your very basic weapon. So what you do now is you say, okay, we have enchanted this spell. This spell hasn't been turned into a template yet, but we've already gone through the work of enchanting it. So now this enchanted item is a short sword, and it grants you flight. And it also has we also added a bonus to it. So we're just going to say that it's going to have um, attack skill, and we're going to put a +1 there. But it doesn't change the actual skill itself. Athletics and defense skill, insight. If only I could type. Yes. So this is the enchanted spell. Just going to put enchanted so that you can. We have the base, we have enchanted, and then we're going to do the spell template or the spell. Now, the spell name. So we're going to take this enchanted item that we have, this enchanted artifact, and we're going to turn it into a spell, an artifact template, a spell that you can use to constantly resummon this spell, recreate this item. So this is going to be a spell name, and we can just call this Enchanted. I wish I could type. Short Sword of Flight, just to be verbose. Then we're going to do shade cost. We're going to leave that blank for now because we're going to address it in a little bit. Effect. And then we're going to, shade cost. And after shade cost is spell type. And the spell type is always going to be a channeled spell. Then we have the effect, and then after the effect we have spell battery. Because that's how you would be able to make sure that this spell is recharged, that you would be able to cast it again. That's another thing. You can be able to recast this spell as long as it's recharged. You can hold two short swords of enchanted swords of flight in your hands if you wanted to. You want to double wield it, fine. You can do that. Nothing is stopping you from doing that. So the effect obviously is going to be creates enchanted enchanted sword enchanted short sword with +1 to skill tests and flight. Goodness gracious, I need to learn how to type. We're going to expand this because we need more room. So yes, creates enchanted short sword with +1 to skill tests and damage. We discussed that earlier. And damage and flight. So the shade cost. So if the bonus, looking at this chart up here, over on the chart here, it says bonus +1, +0 to 1, +2 to 3, +4 to 5, 6 to 7, so on and so forth. 0 to 1 is free. It does not include an unstained shade cost. So I was actually mistaken on that. So yay, y'all get a y'all get a reduction there. So and this is good for me to go over so that we actually remember the rules and how this works. So the shade cost is going to be, if we go back down to enchanting artifacts. After enchanting an artifact this way, the cost to make an artifact template of this artifact increases by the amount and type of stain shade per aspect spell. So we already know that it's going to cost at least 1 Aether Shade. So it's going to cost at least 1 Aether Shade, and then it's going to cost just 1 for the for the artifact itself. The base artifact cost is what that's going to be. So spell battery is going to be a 2 plus, meaning when you roll your spell battery dice, if you roll a 2 or over on a d6, you get that spell can be recharged, and you can cast it again. You can recreate this item as many times as you want. As many times as you want. Like there's nothing to stop you from doing this. So this is just the in-depth version of explaining how to go from this is what's important is you need to remember when creating an artifact template that your spell cannot you cannot enchant after you turn the artifact into a template. It's very important that you remember that particular piece. You will need to make sure that you're able to. Um, you need to make sure that if this is an item that you want to be able to recreate, um, that's how you want the item to be recreated, um, essentially for all time. So make sure that the item that you want is the way you want it, essentially. So that is going to be the final piece to artifacts in the Shades of Dominion. And no, I know it's the third video. We're only the third video in. This is a very simple thing that most players neglect to do when they do start character creation. But it did need to go over. And tomorrow we're going to go over some of the items that the characters in our current campaign are wanting to create and what those would look like in the game. So we're actually going to take examples of items that we're going to be using in the live action, in not live action, during the live streams, and you'll be able to see those in effect. So, and we're going to create those here this week. So I will see you all again tomorrow. And don't forget to throw some shade, and again, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.